Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Arise News analyst, Great Malabite, Emmanuel Efeni.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufa.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, we'll start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. We'll start from the window story, the story above the masthead. Ribadu, Buhari's administration bankrupted Nigeria, says country paying back what was taken. Insists security situation has improved. 600 kidnapped victims in captivity for 2 years rescued quietly. Crude output rose to 1.7 million barrels per day from 900,000 last year. Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, really shooting from the hips. He's accusing the last administration, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, of bankrupting this country. That indeed the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration inherited a bankrupted country. Of course, Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, was speaking at the Chief of Defense Intelligence Annual Conference and Regional Collaboration for Enhanced National Security. And of course, he said the federal government was now paying back what was taken or stolen. Of course, Nuhu Ribadu's no-holds-barred remark just one step short of saying that the nation was tolling blind under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari, whose mantra was three-pronged when he came to office: security, anti-corruption, and of course, the economy. Of course, it's like on all scores, that administration failed big time. But to hear this from Nuhu Ribadu, because both the National Security Advisor, of course, the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they were all part of the APC that told Nigerians, this is the man to take us to the next level. Now we know better where the next level has landed us. So, no need to wash their hands, part of that government, one way or the other, and let them clear the mess. If they have identified where the mess is right now. Now, the lead story of this day newspaper, Jubilation as Diri wins Bayelsa poll, says he will be governor for all. Situation room orders fourth off-cycle elections. Yuriwa warns voter apathy may soar in future if INEC isn't unbundled or reformed. Tinubu, Buhari, APC, PDP governors congratulate winners. PDP LP candidates insist Imo poll must be cancelled. Yes, Governor Diri has gotten a second term in office, going by the announcement of the returning officer, Professor Farouk Kuta, who declared Diri scored the highest number of lawful votes yesterday. And of course, he defeated closest rival Timi Praise Silva, former governor of that state, and the immediate past Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. But like in Kogi, like in Imo, where the opposition, they are crying foul. Also in Bayelsa, of course, the APC is crying foul. Yesternight, in our News 9 program, Chief Otiotio, the chairman of APC in Bayelsa State, who was also the agent in chief of the party at the Collation Center, was saying that, so much votes were cancelled that the APC scored. Specifically, he was talking of Southern Ijaw and, of course, the Brass local government area. And his argument was that ab initio, INEC decided to bring the votes from those two local governments to Yenegua for collation, and was asking why. Well, I think he should know better, because those two areas were battleground of thuggery before the election, to the extent that Even journalists could not go there to cover the election. According to our correspondent of UTB, George was on the ground. He said that area was a no-go area even for journalists. So you can imagine why INEC must have decided to bring the votes to Yenegua to count. Imagine if the counting and the collation properly now would have done in those local governments, what will have transpired in terms of violence. But all parties in the 3 states, Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa, who are not satisfied, they know what to do. No need for anybody to take laws into their hands. But for now, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has congratulated all the winners. Hope Uzodinma in Imo, of course, Ododo, yes, in Kogi, and Diri of Bayelsa State. Yeah. They've been congratulated by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for their victory. Well, I will just take one look at the photograph on the front page of This Day once again. Yes, I saw this photograph somewhere yesterday. Yes, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, being honored in a grand reception by the Ovie of Uwe. Abe the First, Dr. Emmanuel Kodeso. Yes, yesterday I said the Osubi Airport will need his attention, and I mentioned that it was located in the kingdom of the Ovie of Uwe, but my attention has since been drawn. Osubi is actually part of the Okpe Kingdom, where the king is the Horoje of Okpe Kingdom. But, of course, the governor of the state, of Delta State, Sheriff Oboiwore, is from Osubi. He lives very close to the airport. That's his personal residence. Of course, it's partly from Uwe and partly from Okpe, perhaps. That in itself can confuse some persons. But Osubi properly part of Okpe Kingdom, just to make that correction. Now, the Guardian newspaper, International Day, doctors, patients bemoan diabetes epidemic, 200% spike on treatment, 11.2 million Nigerians suffer from diabetes, according to the International Diabetes Federation and Diabetes Association of Nigeria. But the rising cost of treatment is what should worry everybody, not only those who are affected by diabetes. Over 132,500 die yearly from complications of stroke, heart failure, kidney damage, blindness, and limb amputation. The oral medication has gone up from 9,000 per month to 21,000 to 27,000. To treat uncomplicated diabetes case, it has gone up from 25,000 to 40,000 naira a month on a care that is in public hospitals. Complicated cases has risen to treat complicated cases from 125,000 to 250,000 plus a month in government-owned hospitals, and of course, millions more in private clinics. The state of treating diabetes and a number of Nigerians are suffering from that disease. So I think this is a poser for the health minister, how to make those who are suffering from this get treatment at lower costs. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, shock as Saudi Arabia cancels visa on arrival for 264 Nigerians. Yes, passengers airborne back to Nigeria. We are investigating to see if any consular or aviation rule has been flouted. Foreign Affairs Ministry stating that we are waiting for update. Presidency cancellation, shocking stakeholders. It's Aeropolitics aviation security consultant saying, well, Ruben, you dwelt on that earlier. At a time, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Nigerian investors were in Saudi Arabia making and striking deals that we think should benefit Nigeria. Well, this happened. It's a blow. It's a blow. And I'm sure the relevant bodies will look at this. It's a blow that Nigerians who were granted visa by the Saudi embassy in Nigeria only to get to Saudi Arabia, perhaps because they were ferried there by Nigerian airline, their visas were cancelled. It should be investigated, and Nigerians want to know, get to the root of this matter. If it means tit for tat, of course, that has to be done in the spirit of reciprocity in international diplomacy. Nigerian Tribune newspaper, ports, railway orders to shut down as NLC TUC begins strike. Labor unions must respect subsisting court order, federal government. And of course, that story is on the front page of a number of other newspapers. Leadership newspaper, despite court order, labor begins indefinite strike. Daily Independent newspaper, despite court order, labor begins nationwide strike today. The Punch newspaper, strike, federal government threatens labor with contempt charge, NLC adamant. And of course, we know the origin of the strike. The Nigerian Labour Congress president, who was beaten, battered, and bruised in Imo State. He did not go to Imo for political rally. He went there to pursue the cause of workers who have not been paid by the Imo State government for many months, and the Imo State government was declaring that these are ghost workers. And from nowhere, thugs with names, because names were mentioned, were there to attack the NLC president, and the police telling us that they rescued him from thugs without arresting anybody. And of course, NLC threatened that there will be a nationwide strike, and that is what we have seen here. Now, just one foreign newspapers quickly. The Financial Times. Cameroon returns to front line after Breverman sacking sparks reshuffle. Of course, Suella Breverman, former Home Secretary, now speaking as if, sack me if you can. He has been sacked, and that has sparked off a cabinet reshuffle that has brought former Prime Minister back from political wilderness. Is now the Foreign Minister of the UK, Ruben and Rufai.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time. Emmanuel Efini, thank you very much for the newspaper review.